All right, cool.
Yep. You want to do Memento? How do you say it?
Mentos. I say
Mementos.
it memento, and
Memento.
you were saying it memento.
I wasn't saying Memento. I was saying Memento.
Oh, momento. That's what it was.
Memento.
Like uno momento. And I'm just saying memento.
It's Memento. Me,
Me
me,
mint. Memento.
Memento.
Got it.
Two and a
All
half
right.
Mementos.
2.5 mementos. I like it.
Taylor and Alan talking about movies. They may be best friends, but they always disagree. Taylor and Alan, I seen that.
2000. Ready? See if you can guess this movie. Christopher Nolan directed it. Guy Pearce stars in it.
The
Joe.
Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, is Guy Pearce in The Dark Knight
No.
Rises? Oh, yeah.
I used to get Guy Pearce and Aaron Eckhart confused, though.
I can almost see that, but
That's all.
Yeah, I'm
They're
disappointed.
similar looking.
So we were gonna do this one last week. You
Yes.
had not seen it at that point,
Correct.
but has that changed? Dun dun dun.
Yes.
And do you feel like I built it up too much for you to enjoy it?
No, so I don't know. It definitely wasn't built up too much to enjoy. I was expecting some type of like plot twist.
Uh-huh.
You know, like I knew there was probably going to be something, but I still did not guess it by the end.
No.
I was still thrown off a little bit. So I think in the spirit of the movie, we should do this podcast in reverse.
In reverse? All right.
Yes.
So if this comes on TV, what are you doing?
Being that it's so fresh in my mind, probably not watch it again. But in about a month, I'd probably watch it again. It's a good movie.
Yeah. If this came on, this is one of the few that I might actually like make popcorn for. I don't really like popcorn, but like I
would have to start at the beginning. Like if I turned it on and it was already like 20 minutes in, I probably wouldn't watch it.
So you would start at the end, or you would start at...
I almost want to, and I'm sure someone has done it, watch the movie in the correct order.
Yeah, I think there's a cut.
How good it is.
I think it's
I'm
on
sure
YouTube.
there is.
I doubt it's very good.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it would be very good that way. I think the novelty of it being cut backwards is what makes it good.
Yeah.
I can't do this podcast backwards though, because it's gonna break my brain. The movie is all about a guy whose wife gets murdered. He gets brain damage and loses his short-term memory.
Yeah.
And it's kind of similar to 50 First Dates, except it's more aggressive.
That's what. Yeah, we said it's a darker 50 First Dates.
And in 50 First Dates,
he can lose his memory 100 times in a day.
Yeah.
As opposed to only when he goes to sleep.
Yeah. So whenever the story, whenever it would benefit the story for him to lose his memory, that's generally when it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
But it seems to be about 2 to 5 minutes. The story. So you jump in and you're like, well, I don't understand what's going on, and then it'll go for a few minutes, and then it'll start over 5 minutes before the previous clip started. So you're like, it's building itself, it's backfilling itself the whole way. What'd you think though?
I did enjoy it. It's a good movie. It took me a little while to piece together the ending reveal with the Sammy Jarvis character.
Yeah,
the one that he kept telling the story about. I mean, overall, I liked it, and I about 5 minutes in, I was like, I have no idea where this movie's going and what it's going to lead up to, but I'm on for the ride.
Yeah. Yeah, so spoiler, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to explain it, but If you haven't seen it, I would recommend watching it.
Stop now.
His wife dies, and Joe what's his name?
Pantaleono.
I'm just gonna call him Joe.
There you go. Joe P.
Joe P. What's his character's name? Teddy. I'm gonna call him Teddy. That's a lot easier.
Teddy.
So Teddy helps Guy Pearce's character,
Joe.
Leonard.
Lenny.
He helps him track down and find and kill the original killer. But that's the end.
Man who. Yes.
Yeah, you don't know
Or
that.
is it the beginning?
Yeah, it's the beginning and the end. You don't know that until the end of the movie that's what he did. The whole movie.
The movie begins with him killing Teddy.
Yeah, well, you don't know it's Teddy though.
No, you just know
he kills someone.
It's this guy.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie is leading up to why that happens.
Yeah. And
how he comes to conclusions.
When Teddy originally helped Joe or Leonard kill the murderer, it didn't satisfy him, even though he had the tattoo. Saying that he
John
did it.
D.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? No, she didn't die then.
No.
I
thought you were saying that, and we could reveal that later to the audience.
Ooh, we should have. No, I'm just stupid. She was attacked.
Okay, so the whole movie, he's under the impression that his wife is raped and murdered, and he is attacked, and now he's lost his short-term memory, and he can only remember back to her dying. Everything else gets erased.
Yeah,
every couple minutes.
Which is true, except for the murder part. She didn't die. Everything else happened.
Correct.
And she, in an attempt to make his memory come back, so she was a diabetic, and he would do her insulin for her, and so she was like, oh, it's time for my medicine, and so he would come and do the medicine, and she was like, well, if I do this too much, I'm going to die, and if my life is at risk, he's not going to kill me. And so he did it a second time, he did it a third time, and did it a fourth time, ended up killing his wife, which I always had a big problem with, because just stop him. Like, don't let him kill you. Like,
well, so here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
The story that he told about the Sammy character, it went all the same way. He had the same condition. He had no memory, blah, blah, blah. And it was almost like the way they presented his wife having him inject her with insulin was, she didn't believe that he really had this problem. She was calling his bluff.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we'll see if he really continues to do it, knowing that it's going to kill me. And then I think after like the second time, she kind of is like, well, this is real and our life is terrible, so let's just end it now.
Or you think she just gave up? She didn't care anymore?
I think so. Once she saw that he was just pumping away, she realized
pumping away. That's a terrible way to describe that.
Injecting away.
There you go.
But when it comes to Leonard and his wife in the real story, it was almost presented like she just wanted to die already, and it wasn't like a calling his bluff type thing. She just was tired of the whole situation and wanted to die.
Gotcha.
But same result in the end.
Yeah, and so Joe ends up helping. Teddy helps Leonard kill the rapist. Leonard is not satisfied, even though he knows that he did it. He's got a tattoo saying that he did it.
Did it ever say why he wasn't satisfied?
I think because he couldn't remember doing it.
Did he forget it too quickly?
Yeah, even though he knew, even though he could see that it happened, he still felt unresolved because he didn't remember doing it. Also, there might have been a point of revenge isn't going to fix your pain. Might have been part of it, but so Joe ends up finding other people, or Teddy ends up finding other people for him to kill who are criminals and different things like that, and helps them along the way. And
he uses him as his hitman.
Yeah. And Leonard figures that out because Teddy tells him. And so then Leonard sets it up for himself to think that Teddy was
John G.
And ends up killing him. And it was like, it's sad if whoever's listening to this hadn't seen it, because it was a great reveal.
Yeah, we didn't do it justice, obviously.
No. It was...
Yeah, that whole... What I kept thinking was because I'm like, okay, the more you find out about Teddy, because he kind of starts... You see him get murdered, and then you find out he kind of comes off as this sleazy dude, this and that, but then the more and more it reveals that it's like, actually now he's a cop, and he's maybe not a bad guy. So I'm like, how does it get to where he kills him? And I thought the reveal was going to be he just was the rapist after all.
Oh, yeah.
And that he figures it out, and then before he, knowing that he's going to forget and everything, he's able to leave enough clues for him to figure it out again. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
But in reality, it was just revenge for being used.
Yeah.
Which is even better to me, I thought.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a great movie. I really like it. I don't know. It used to be in my top 10. I don't know if I would still consider it to be in my top 10.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
So the one thing that I am confused about is in the story of Sammy, after he kills his wife, he's institutionalized.
Uh-huh. Well, I thought that was an actual story. I think that's still a real story. I don't think it was, what do you call that? Like an algorithm? No. What am I trying to say?
I know an algorithm. Yes.
Is that right?
You had to. No. It's
You can't make fun of me when I'm legitimately asking for help.
Oh, what's the word? A short story.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean a short story. It means like
allegory. No,
an allegory? I think so. It's not an allegory of his story. It's not. They didn't just change the names in the situation to tell the exact same story. I think it was a parallel event.
What do you mean?
That the Sammy story actually happened,
right,
how it's told, and then his story actually happened how it's told. But he's able to remember the Sammy story because it happened before his story.
Well, but the reveal from Teddy implied that it didn't happen, and Sammy was a con man, and he never even had a wife.
Oh. Okay, well, I don't remember that part, apparently.
So, I won't try to act like I caught this during the movie, but when I was looking at stuff online about the movie afterwards, there's a scene when he's talking about Sammy. It's after he's already killed his wife, and it shows Sammy, he's been institutionalized, and he's just like sitting in a chair, just kind of doing nothing.
Yeah.
And someone walks in front of him, and for just like a split second, it changes from Sammy to Leonard sitting in that same spot, like it was him instead of Sammy being institutionalized.
Uh-huh.
But it's like I said, it's for like a split second, and then it cuts away. So I think that's implying that all of that stuff happened to Leonard instead of Sammy. So my question is, how does he get uninstitutionalized to be able to go on this killing spree?
I don't know, because that's not the interpretation that I have of all that stuff, but I also don't remember it very well.
But do you know what I'm talking about? Is that something you caught?
I don't remember that, no.
Yeah, it's super quick. It's super quick. It's like maybe halfway through the movie when you're not looking for anything like that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think that's because the thing that I read, it said something like Christopher Nolan revealed the ending in the middle of the movie, and you probably didn't even see it. Something along those lines. Either way, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have an overbearing anything on the story.
Yeah. What'd your wife think of it?
But
She like it?
She also liked it, yes.
Yeah.
Overall, good movie.
Yeah. Well, anything else to say about Memento?
I would say for being such like a dark theme and very psychological and confusing, it did have its funny moments.
Yeah. Like the beer scene. That was so nasty.
Yeah. Wait. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. That was pretty gross.
They're all he goes to a bar looking for information, and I don't know how they knew that he didn't, or his memory would wipe, but the bartender,
because Teddy had already been in there and told her, she had made mention that the cop had already told her about him.
Gotcha. And so they all spit loogies into this beer cup,
including himself.
Then she gives it to him a few minutes later, and he just drinks it down.
Well, he only takes like a drink, and then I think that's when she realizes it's legit, because why would you do that knowing that you're drinking everyone's spit?
Yeah.
And then when he goes to take another drink, she takes it and offers to get him like a new one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But either way, he got a little bit of it. No, the part that I was thinking of, because so every time his memory would reset and we'd go further back into the past instead of the future.
Uh-huh.
And he'd start somewhere. It'd always be interesting to see how he ended up getting there and him trying to figure out where he's at. Because that's one of the things is, luckily for him, he understands that he has a condition and it's not like confusing. So as soon as it resets, he instantly knows he's got to figure out what's going on. So there's one where he
chasing the guy.
He's running and he's like, it resets. He's like, okay, what's happening? What's that? And he like looks over. And he's running. He's like, okay, I'm chasing this guy. And he like turns and goes at him. And the guy pulls out a gun. He's like, no. He's like, I'm running from this guy.
Yeah. That's
so there's that one was funny. But then the one in front of that, it was like one or two in front of that one. He had tried to beat the guy to his hotel room. So he gets there in front of him. And he's like, okay, I got to have a weapon. And he gets like the wine bottle. And he takes it in the bathroom to wait and hide.
Yeah.
And his memory resets. And he's just sitting on the toilet with the wine bottle. And he's like, okay. He's like, where am I? He's like, why am I here? He's like, I don't feel drunk. And then he like smells his clothes. He's like, oh, I need to take a shower. He just takes a shower in the middle of waiting for this guy to come back to his hotel room. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, they did some creative stuff. Christopher Nolan is an amazing director.
Yeah, he's very creative.
I didn't like Interstellar, but that was mostly the story was kind of boring.
Interstellar.
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, I thought that one was good.
It was okay. It was just.
To be honest, and this is spoilers for Interstellar.
Oh.
The part where they're on that planet for too long and time on Earth is like fast forwards, at a different rate.
Yeah.
That was like so depressing to me that I could not get over it for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't get over how depressing this is.
And also,
until then, it was a great movie.
I understand the idea of that, but it's so unreasonable that
it was too unreasonable. Yeah.
I don't know. It was just like, okay, this is a bit much. Like, I get
it was almost more of a convenient way to do a time jump.
Yeah.
Without saying 20 years later or something.
Yeah.
But overall, I liked it.
Yeah. I thought it was funny, though, when they went to that planet and came back, and the black guy was still on the thing, and he's like, it's been 4 years. He was like all sad and depressed because he's been alone for 4 years, and they've been gone for 20 minutes. I thought that
exactly.
was pretty funny.
See, it's almost like too depressing to even think. I'm like, this is horrible.
Yeah. But the Dark Knight trilogy, that's like some of my favorite movies.
Those are good movies. And what's the other? Inception.
Inception was good. I really like that.
Did he do Shutter Island too?
I didn't see that. I don't know.
You haven't seen Shutter Island?
Mm-mm. With
it's a
Leonardo?
Yeah. No, that's a pretty good one too. Apparently, it's better a second time. I've only seen it once, but I guess it's a different experience knowing things that you find out at the end of the movie and then watching it like that.
Yeah, I've heard the reveal. I've seen the reveal before, like on YouTube and stuff, which is always kind of frustrating. But that's my own fault for watching things like that.
Spoilers.
That's what happened. Did you ever play BioShock Infinite?
Yeah.
So I'd never played BioShock before that, and I watched a review on the game because I heard that it was really good, but I had no desire to play it. Then I watched it and I found out all the beats,
the twists,
and I was like, oh, I wish I would have just played this, but I never would have played it if I didn't know the twist. So it's like
it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
That is a really good game. That's one of my favorites of all time. That's a great story.
Yeah.
You really missed out.
Yeah.
Getting to experience it. Yeah.
The same with the original BioShock.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Did you play that?
I played all of them. I love those games.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sad because I think they're probably done.
Yeah, I think so.
And there was talk a while back of maybe a movie, but it never went anywhere.
Yeah, they don't need to do movies about video games anymore. I think that can just stop.
Yeah, I think that I finally gave up on that when I saw the Assassin's Creed movie.
Yeah, that it looked really good, but I heard it was awful.
It was very hard to follow.
Yeah.
Mostly through, I forgot that this was also a video game.
Oh yeah.
But,
well, that's the thing about they don't cross movies and video games, because generally for a video game to be good, the main character needs to be a shell, right? It needs to be not. It doesn't have any of its own thoughts. Doesn't really make any
a lot
of
of
its own
personality.
choices.
Yeah, it's just an unspeaking person.
Yeah, that you insert yourself into, basically.
Yeah, you become that character.
And then when you take it and put it into a movie, now you're like, it's kind of like when you read a book and you build these images of the characters in your head and kind of how they talk and their cadence and all this stuff. Then you see them on screen and you're like, that was never a black person in my head.
Yeah, it's almost always disappointing when books and games turn into movies.
Yeah.
Other than Super Mario Brothers.
And
it's the only one that I can think really panned out.
What I was going to say, just so I don't sound super racist, because I was trying to get to it, was that I assume everyone is a little Asian guy in every story that I read. But
that's how you picture everyone.
Yeah. When I read Harry Potter, when I saw Harry Potter for the first time, it was weird to see Hermione.
Oh, yeah, I bet that would be really weird.
Yeah. They all look like little Jackie Chans, basically, in my head. Girl or boy.
Speaking of that.
Of Jackie Chan or me?
Yeah, speaking of Jackie Chan, who went away for a while, it felt like.
The Foreigner? Is that what you're talking about? That looks amazing.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
That looks so amazing.
Yeah.
I've never been more hyped for a Jackie Chan movie since Rush Hour 2.
Yeah. If you have not seen the trailer to The Foreigner, go and watch that right now.